I'm also very pleased, and I think it's a natural transition to introduce Johan Laskowski, one of our customers. It's an honor for me to have Johan presenting his company, Kennametal, and how he works with Dell and the learning of this work. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. So I was invited by Dell, and I was asked to describe a little bit even Dell consulting services. How does it work in the real life? And I'm going to talk about the project we ran together with Dell. It was an implementation of storage area network with backup, recovery, and archiving solution. This is a pretty short presentation. We are a little bit behind the schedule, but I have only 6 slides, and I will try to go through pretty quickly through my presentation. So I wanted to at first start with a short key information about Kennametal so that you get the first impression who is Kennametal and about the size of our company. Can we change to the next slide, please? Kennametal was founded already in 1938 by Philip McKenna in the United States. Today we have 13,500 employees worldwide in more than 60 countries. Our turnover last year was $2.3 billion. Our world headquarters is located in Latrobe in Pennsylvania, 60 miles away from Pittsburgh. In addition to sales subsidiaries or sales partners across Europe, in almost all European countries, we have 15 production sites. The majority of our products we still manufacture in Europe or in the States. We have only 2 locations in India and in China. Kennametal's product was probably most important information. We are leading one of the biggest global suppliers of metal cutting tools. So everything what has to do with drilling, turning, milling is our business, and we sell our products to automotive industry, aerospace, mining construction, so everywhere where metal cutting tools are required. But of course, beside the high precision tools and systems for metal cutting, services are gaining more and more important for our customers and of course also for Kennametal. What does it mean exactly? The services include consulting and training in machining operations, project planning, and production optimization, as well as tool recycling. That's really a key information about Kennametal. I don't want to bother you too much about that. If you want to know a little bit more, I can give you the contact information to our public relation people, and they will love to talk more about Kennametal. So, if we can move to the next slide. What kind of IT issues was our organization facing before implementing Dell's backup, recovery, and archiving solution? The biggest problem we had in the past was long backup and restore times. It took almost over 36, 38, 40 hours to back up all data on our file servers and a Lotus Notes email system. And we have also seen that the very high increase and very fast increase of disk space usage. We had to this time only service with direct attached hard disks, what was very performant, but on the other hand, required a lot of resources for monitoring and management, especially backup management. And we were lucky we didn't have any major disaster in that time, so we weren't never in that situation that we had to restore all our data, because it would took almost 2.5 days to restore everything. And also a big problem was a big part of the user files on the file server were older than 2 years old. And even if we asked our users to delete obsolete data, it didn't really work. And on the other hand, we've known that it will take a lot of time and resources if each of the users will delete obsolete data. And another thing is we have also some legal requirements we have to meet, so we have also needed an archiving strategy. So if we can change to the next one. Well, what capabilities or solutions were we looking for to this time? One thing was what I've even said, the high increasing disk space usage. So we have needed a system which will allow us easily to extend disk capacity. That's why we looked into storage area network solution. For the same reason, high availability of the system, so without any outages, and high performance. Beside that was what I've even described with a very long backup time. We wanted to reduce that significantly. The reason for that was we made some major acquisitions to this time, so the number of users increased dramatically to this time in Europe, but also in Asia Pac room. The colleagues in India, but also in Israel, use our servers in Fürth in Germany. So they worked like colleagues in India. They work on Saturdays. The colleagues in Israel on Sundays. So it was necessary for us to reduce significantly the backup time. And of course reduced the monitoring effort. We didn't increase our manpower to this time, even if we got much more users we have supported. So it was also necessary for us to reduce the monitoring effort in a data room. So if we can change, yeah. And there is one of the most important questions. Why did we decide for DELL as the technology supplier? One thing was we have a very long experience with DELL. We started a strong relationship with DELL over 10 years ago when DELL was pretty small on the German market. And we could collect very positive, very good experience with DELL products, but also with their services. What was even much more important for us, if we talk about the high availability of the systems, it was also a key for us. We looked also for a scalable solution which will help us to reduce the TCO, but also to reasonable price. And was the first time that we ran such a big project with DELL services, but we wanted also to have someone who will be professional enough to implement such a solution. And it should be really very short period of time. So in that case, we talked to different vendors. Even if we worked already together with DELL, we talked to HP and IBM and defined our technical requirements. And finally, we really got the impression that DELL knows the best understands our needs and give us a really very interesting offer from pricing point of view. But we were also very sure that they will professionally implement the whole solution. So we have decided then to install storage area network from DELL EMC. That was CX500 storage array with mid-range fiber channel storage system. DELL supplied and configured the hardware and integrated that into existing infrastructure without affecting the business. So everything, the whole implementation, after we have exactly defined our technical requirements and we have got the final offer and we placed the order till everything was in place took 3 weeks. So it was extremely short period of time, and with a project manager from Dell side who really coordinated the whole implementation, also on site meetings with my people. And after that installation, Dell also took care of the training of the people in data center. They take care today of storage area network. That solution allows us to add further disk array enclosure, what was pretty quickly very important. We have in the meanwhile 4 terabyte on data only on the file server, on the primary storage, and another 6 terabyte on secondary storage in archiving. And we have started also with 46 slots in ML6020 LTO3 library, and we extended it in the meanwhile to 114. So it was, again, confirmation for us that it was the right decision to use Dell because of the easy extension of the resources. So if we can change to the last one. So what was finally the benefits? We have got a scalable storage infrastructure which give us opportunity for further growth. Secure storage ensures critical data. What we did, we have the backup library sitting in our data room, and we have our disk arrays sitting in another building. So in case even of fire in data room, we'll not lose the whole data. And even in case of major disaster, with the LTO3 library, where we back up not only the servers that are in the storage area network, but also all another remote servers in the data room, it's much easier to create copies for offsite storage. So we have always at least 3 different versions of the data in offsite location, which is 80 kilometers away from the headquarters. We have easy to manage SUN solution, which creates consistent and reliable data policies. And what was very important through the project, but also afterwards, we have a single point of contact. So Dell delivered hardware and software, the whole solution. So in case we have any problems, we don't run in such problems like with another solution provided that they simply point on another one and say that it's not our problem, it's the hardware, or another, this is the software. So we have only one single point of contact.